chaos in America. The debt collection industry uses the court system the most in the United States. They collecting that debt. So a lot of people ain't talking about that. That's a whole nother language.
Yeah.
Year 2024, we hit $1 trillion of consumer defaulted debt. So now I seen like a meme from somebody that was saying $1.14 trillion in consumer debt. It's spiking.
With that amount of consumer debt out here, then that means the debt collectors are purchasing all that debt?
Oh yeah.
Why would someone want to sue a debt collector?
Because they're infringing on your rights, right? They're infringing on the FDCPA.
What are you suing them for? Is it like a standard amount of money?
Yeah, everything is case by case, but statutorily, we're only talking about $100 to $1,000. But you also have actual damages. So set aside the statutory requirements. Let's talk about actual.
We're not learning about credit in school.
Yeah.
So how does people kind of, learn how they should be going about?
The ultimate answer is education. Nobody really gets educated on what they're getting into. They just get into it. Next thing you know, it's a big mess. Now you're looking for the solution.
So you sound like a lawyer though, for real.
Man, I mean, to be honest with you, man, I never did even finish high school.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the On the Pursuit podcast. We connect with 6, 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs, right? They got a lot of information. We want to bring you the information. We want to distill that information in ways that you can understand. On today's podcast, I got my guy, Vance Dotson, all the way from OKC. I've never been there in my life.
Gonna come.
Is it a real place?
Oh yeah.
I know they had a basketball team that was lit. But actually, y'all got shot now.
Oh yeah.
He lit.
Oh yeah, man. They still developing.
You know what?
Yeah.
So I'll come this fall.
All right.
When the NBA back. It'd be a good way to come. Yeah.
No, I got
like November.
Tickets on me.
Like November.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, bet. All right, let's do it. So man, a lot of people know you from the internet, and you be really getting at people.
Yeah.
I was actually on a live one time with you, and actually I think I got on the live after I seen a story of you was going crazy at somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Who is that somebody? Because I like to talk very
I don't
direct.
remember. I just remember I was like, yo, man, really spicy right now.
Yeah.
And then I see
It was probably Tony the closer, Tony Robinson, probably.
That's probably.
Yeah. Because I think Tony's lane is like wholesaling real estate or something like that. You know what I mean? And somebody, he had put my program on the green screen on the back of him, and he was talking trash. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. So when I seen it, when I woke up at like 5, 6 in the morning, but then he had took it down, when I was gonna respond. So I'm like, man, look, we don't do that, bro. If you gonna throw a rock, bro, it is what it is. So it was, several posts made. He talked about, I'm gonna put you in a blunt. So I'm like, I don't really know what that means. Do it, And yeah, man, just, he blocked me and all of that. But really, it ain't no real beef like that, no smoke. I really don't know him. He don't know me. You know what I mean? So
you think he was just trolling for real?
Well, he couldn't be in trolling because, I mean, it really ain't nothing to troll about. You know what I mean? So, but if I do see him, it's draw the line. It is what it is.
So how are you actually helping people out here?
So it starts with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which I'm gonna say FCRA. It starts with the FDCPA also. So that's the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. And so you have a lot of people that's doing credit repair. And so to stand out, I just decided to pick the lane of dealing with the FDCPA, which is dealing with debt collectors, because I seen that debt collection industry growing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just say it wasn't nobody policing the debt collectors.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. I feel like that's actually not a bad industry to buy a business in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
To like to buy the debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're looking for a profitable niche to get into,
Oh yeah.
These companies is making a lot of money
Oh yeah.
because the average consumer is afraid of a debt collector.
You're right.
So the average consumer is going to pay. A good percentage of them are going to pay regardless. I've paid debt collectors in the past before I had the information to know that I didn't necessarily have to pay them because my debt's not with them. You know what I'm saying? They just purchased the debt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're a middleman, and I'm not advocating anyone to do this, but we're in America.
Yeah.
So like you could go in that lane. It's a it's a multi-million dollar,
Billion.
it's probably a billion.
Trillion, really.
Industry.
Yeah.
So you got the disposable income, you can purchase a debt collecting company or you can start your own.
And this is the thing too, man. In Oklahoma, where I'm from, you don't have to have a license to even be a debt collector.
Yeah, and I heard about that too.
And that's crazy.
I heard about that too. There's some states where you can have a license to operate, but you don't have to have one. So I think I heard one of Herman's people talk about this. You know Herman Dotson, the Asian CEO?
Mm-hmm.
So he had one of his partners on, they was doing a live or whatever, and she was talking about it's easy to dispute a debt in a state where a debt collector doesn't have a license to operate.
Yeah, I wouldn't rely on that.
Because that debt collector doesn't have the license.
Yeah, I wouldn't rely on that like that. But, whatever floats in people's heads to get the job done.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is every state is different.
Yeah, you're right.
So there's some states where you don't even have to have car insurance.
Let me stay out of that state.
In Florida, you don't even have to wear a helmet on the motorcycle or bike.
I think it's like that in Oklahoma City too.
See what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is it's like every state has different parameters, there's different laws. You know what I'm saying? Like weed technically is illegal federally, but there's some states where it's legal.
Yeah. Oklahoma is legal.
Yeah, so if the feds wanted to shut down your business, they could, because federally it's illegal.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different nuances with these laws.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of struggle with that too. It's just like, okay, the people that I'm, advocating for, that these companies the debt collectors is coming out to people, they don't have to have a license. But here it is, me doing credit repair, I have to have a license. So it's certain things that I can or can't say.
Let's touch on that, bro, because that's interesting.
Yeah.
You even saying that, now thinking about a lot of people that operate in the space, I don't think I've heard a lot of messaging around I'm licensed to do credit repair.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, right? So my approach to helping the consumer is using the federal court systems. So, I'm punching these companies in the mouth. The biggest case I ever had was 1.7 million from a jury. FDCPA wise, it was 1.5 million. So I'm causing a lot of dust. And so these companies, turned me in. I was in the middle of a case, fighting a case for a consumer. And they was just like, well, he's not licensed, and the state says you has to be licensed. So I got fined $5,000 for not being licensed. And then from there, that like when it first happened, I was salty.
How much was your license?
It was probably like $1,000.
So it cost you $6,000 to learn the lesson.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. No, when it first happened, bro, I was salty. But now it's just like, that's like that weight lifted off your shoulders.
No, 100%.
Because you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, facts. But two things I think there is, number one, it costs you the money to learn the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which is not bad because you get the money back, right? You just invest in yourself. And then two, when you look at people doing defense, they're gonna look for strategies and things to just win the case.
Yeah.
They don't gotta be right or wrong. They're just trying to win the case.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're in a room and it's like formal attire, it don't matter if the information you got is right.
Mm-hmm.
You wearing t-shirts and sneakers.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear nothing else. You shouldn't even be in the room. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they come at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
that's what it was.
That's what it was. So it's like, they're like, how can we get them?
Yeah.
Like,
see, on my social media, I'm kind of like, I'm just myself, man.
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, I can't be like Brandon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't be like whoever else. I'm just be me. And, just being me has led me into a position to where I am today. But the attraction on the other side is real. Like, So say for example, like I say, I'm in federal courts all over the place. So the first thing they want to do is screenshot my social media and then just have all them type of exhibits. But my thing is, I'm like, dude, I haven't broke the law. So, there's something called motion for limine. And, I get it thrown out every time because it has nothing to do with the case, but they just trying to paint that picture with the judge. Like, look at what he's doing. Every time they hit me with like, oh, this is manufactured. And I just like, how? Like when you're constantly calling the consumer, how am I setting this up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How am I setting this up if you sending the consumer a letter or you texting the consumer or you emailing the consumer? How am I setting this up? How is this manufactured? So I'm always, combating that, which now it's just like, oh, at first I was like in my feelings about it. Like, dude, like, I was like, man, I want to get them for defamation, but then it's litigation privilege where you can't do it. And now it's just like, oh, you doing that now,
So let me ask you this, right? Why would someone want to sue a debt collector?
Well, because they're infringing on your rights, right? They're infringing on the FDCPA. So say for an example, you have on a very basic level, let's just say invasion of privacy. So say for an example, you're doing whatever you're doing and then you hear that ding from a text message. That's invasion of privacy. So
if it's unwarranted.
Yep. Intrusion upon seclusion. So we bring cases like that on debt collectors very often. And you can do intrusion upon seclusion several ways, right? The emails, the letters, the phone calls, things of that nature. So you got to understand, the FDCPA is written up for the least sophisticated consumer. And so what you have is a company who don't believe that the consumer is going to take action when it happens.
100%.
And that's where we get the money at. That's where the money is.
So when you're suing a debt collector, what are you suing them for? Is it like a standard amount of money that you sue them for, or just does it depend on, is it case by case? Most cases.
Yeah, everything is case by case, but statutorily, we're only talking about $100 to $1,000. But you also
per case.
Yeah,
or
per case. Per lawsuit.
Yeah, per lawsuit. Yeah.
But you also have actual damages. So there was a case that came down, the Ramirez versus TransUnion case that came out of the Ninth Circuit and went all the way up to the Supreme Court. And so what that case did in all federal courts is you cannot bring a lawsuit unless you have actual damages. So I think, and it's been on the up for me, because when they come and lowball, I will always bring that case up like, hey, this case right here, we got to have actual damages. So set aside the statutory requirements. Let's talk about actual. And so it brings up the settlement a little bit more.
So you sound like a lawyer though, for real.
Man, I mean, to be honest with you, man, I never did even finish high school. It's just something I just stuck with, and this is the product, you know what I'm saying?
What made you choose this lane though? Cause you mentioned like in the space, obviously there's a lot of noise in terms of people in the space, but you chose like a certain angle where I don't really hear a lot of people talk about. I think when I first learned about, your content and kind of what you do, you definitely stood alone, because I'm like, I don't really hear no one talking about suing the debt collectors.
Yeah.
You're hearing about Metro 2, you're hearing about consumer law.
Yeah.
You're hearing about the, just writing letters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Unlike the other ones you just mentioned, I'm into permanent results, right? So
you saying you can't get permanent results with consumer law? You can't get permanent results with Metro 2?
Well, say for an example, when you say the term consumer law, that's broad to me. So when you go specific and dive into it, are we talking about the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and it's hundreds of more consumer protection statutes.
I guess what I'm saying is like people in the space.
Yeah.
When I hear Metro 2, I think about certain people that use Metro 2. When I hear consumer law, I hear a couple of people come to mind about that.
Yeah.
When I hear student debt collectors, you're the only person coming to mind.
Yeah.
So the other two lanes with fair and credit repair, I hear those a lot more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And even what's the process when you just writing letters?
Well, this is the thing. So, if you was to come and get my services before my phone rings, I have a strategy before I even accept money from people. So that's the difference between me and other credit repair companies or things of that nature. So say for an example, man, you always want to have that strategy that's going to be that one shot. You know what I mean? Like that one, ain't nothing perfect, but you just need that one strategy that's just going to be that one shot. So it depends on the consumer, how they're contacting me. So say for an example, if it's a consumer contacting me based on phone calls, so I'm going to be like, hey, pick up the phone, go get something to record with. Don't matter if you missed a call, just call them back and say, hey, I'm at work right now and it's not a good time to talk. And you don't have to just end the call from there. Just when is a good time to call you back? Well, I'm not sure right now. But on that second phone call, do the same thing you just did. I'm at work right now. It's not a good time to talk. Let the phone conversation fizz out. Contact me. I can get you paid. Just them 2 phone calls. Again, it depends on how the consumer is contacting me. So if the consumer is saying, hey, I'm getting an email, I'm getting a text, all of them methods is different. So say for an example, if it's the debt collector is on my credit report, I figured it out to a science because a lot of companies is using ChatGPT. So what I figured out is ChatGPT, we're talking about text messages. Mm-hmm. So ChatGPT, if it's a short couple of words, short sentence, ChatGPT can pick it up. So if it's long form, ChatGPT can't pick it up. So guess what I'm doing? When they say, hey, somebody texting you, long form response.
Yeah. So
that now ChatGPT ain't gonna pick it up, and then they're gonna violate that law.
Gotcha.
So it just depends, man. On that credit report, man, that credit report is not worth the money that people is putting on it. It's worth more than that. And so
give me an example. So when you say that, what do you mean by that?
So say for an example, man, settlements usually be between low end. We're just gonna say low end real quick, about $2,500. And I've been a part of, FDCPA settlements that's just in between. It just all depends on the actual damage. I have a case right now that I'm going to, we want to settle north of $100,000 because one, it was not the lady's debt. So we got actual damages right there. 2, the lady told them to back off. They didn't back off. And so now we're in federal court, getting ready for deposition, things of that nature, to where we're just going to put her official story on record. And then we're going to move to do what's called a summary judgment. And then we're going to move to hire an expert witness to analyze her actual damages.
Is your revenue stuck? If you're an entrepreneur and your revenue is stuck, you don't need to fix your products or services. You need new audiences to discover you more consistently. Podcast guesting is an ideal way to be discovered 24 hours a day by your ideal clients. And guess what? The more people that know you, the more people can flow you. Head over to podcastmasterypack.com and take advantage of your first or next podcast. Let's go.
How long is a case on average?
So it just depends, right? So say for an example, when you first file a lawsuit and then you serve it, they got 21 days to answer. So usually just out the blue, they always, ask for a little bit more time to respond to the lawsuit. But usually in that whole time, since they get that lawsuit, they're trying to settle. They're trying to see, what the actual damages is, what's the consumer's number, things of that nature. So, so let's say you're dealing with about 2 months of just lollygagging because they got that right to say, hey, we just got hard on the case. We need more time to investigate this. So once that answer is put in, usually what I do is I like to strike their answer because they're going to come with a lot of bland information. They're going to deny a lot of information. And so if you can prove up front, they like to just say, for an example, like to deny that they're not a debt collector. Okay, well, now we're finna to go into some motion practice. So we're finna make them work. At that same time, I like to, when I, do my motion to strike, I like to at the same time do a 26F conference. So now we finna get in front of the judge and do, go into discovery on the 26F right off the top. Boom. So that's making the other side work more than what they want to work. So right off the top, man. So now they got a lot of work. So then here comes what's called a joint status conference. So before the joint status conference is, I done got a lot of work done or accomplished before the judge even gets involved now. So now, if it comes to that joint status conference, around that time or a little bit after, now I'm going into a motion to compel. So now the judge is like, man, yeah, motion to compel, like you're ahead of the game, because what they try to do is they try to lollygag and just drag their feet. That's what defense firms do all around the country. So to get ahead of that and to buy just a little bit more time, that's how I'm always victorious on that.
What type of clients is like perfect for the service you offer, right? Because you're helping people get like these debt collectors off their credit reports, right? So if someone's like, that sounds like a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just do, factual disputing, or I'm gonna do,
it sounds like more time with that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find a law and remove my joint, or I'm gonna do Metro 2. Why would somebody want to go your route as opposed to some of the other routes they heard?
Again, permanent results, right? So I don't know much about factual dispute or Metro 2. But I know with suing the debt collector in federal court, they're not going to release that information to another debt collector.
Okay, so what you're saying is basically, if I sue the debt collector, the debt gone.
Debt is gone.
Once I win the case.
Well, before, because they want to do damage control.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
So they want to say right off the top, hey, what's going on? So a lot of the times they remove it off the credit report, and then we're talking numbers. A lot of the times the debt ain't at issue. It's the money part that's the problem, because debt collectors buy the debt.
They buy the debt
for pennies on a dollar.
Yeah.
So they don't have too much invested in the debt, so it's always the money. That's the problem.
So some of the other ways you're saying, that debt can come back, and it can come back from
definitely with factual disputing and Metro 2.
And someone else can purchase that debt, and it can be back on there with a new company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's common.
Yeah.
So, but this is the thing. Once I get involved and get to suing these companies, that has never happened. So that's the thing. So, I had a guy who recently, he was with a big debt collector, LVMV, and they sent him a letter. So it's a certain way that you got to respond to the letters, and obtain a violation. It was like a $48,000 debt. So instantly, see, I'm not into funding, right? So I instantly knew, because when I seen his credit report, it was like 48,000, 60,000, 75,000. So I'm like, man, so I hit him up and I was like, bro, like whatever you're doing, you know how to do it. And like, what is it that you're doing, right? So he was like, yeah, man, funding and this and this. So I'm like, okay, cool. And so I was just like, before I took his money, I was like, bro, look, if you ain't trying to sue these people, don't give me no money. So I set the expectations up front. And so when that violation occurred, we moved, filed in federal court. They forgave him over the debt, waived the debt, gave him some money, took it off his credit report.
So this is a dude that was intentionally funding though. He was intentionally getting access to capital.
Oh yeah.
And then he sued him.
Oh yeah.
So did he that the funding debt that he was getting, he basically ran that up. So he made that debt on purpose essentially?
Yeah.
And then he got it wiped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I run into situations like that quite frequently in today's time. But a lot of things that's going on is medical, a lot of medical debt.
Yeah, medical debt for real. College debt.
Oh, student loans. Yeah, man. I've if you go on Pacer and look it up, I had this thing going on that they stopped, but basically a lot of people couldn't afford the services where I come from, east side of Oklahoma City. So I just made up a standard contract called assignment of the claim. So I just basically took on some student loan debt and sued for this lady, and won the case. And I was just like, dang. So I just kept doing it, kept repeating it, kept going to, different people. I probably did that for over 10 years. So the thing about that is, like, I'm still salty to it to this second, because I look at it like you had to cheat me to beat me. And so once you break it down, if I was to ask you, like, is a car a tort claim, meaning no contract, or a car has a contract?
A car?
A car. Will.
Yeah.
Ferrari.
Yeah.
You think
Does it have a contract or not have a contract?
Yeah.
Not have a contract.
A car. So you go to the car lot and they say, hey man, my name Brandon. They just give you a car.
Oh, you saying it like that way? No, it has a contract then.
It has a contract,
it has a contract,
right?
yeah.
So let me ask you another question. That has a contract. So let me ask you another question. A credit card. Do they just give credit cards, or do you agree to this contract?
No, you gotta agree to it.
Okay, cool. So let's say student loans. Do they just give you all this money, or do you agree to these terms?
You gotta agree to the terms.
All right, cool. The court said that because if anything is based in contract, bro, you can just transfer it, right? You can buy, sell, do whatever you want. It's the same thing that debt collectors is doing, right? I just did it in the reverse with the consumer.
So okay, I got you.
Yeah, I just did it in what the debt collectors is specifically doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the same thing that the debt collectors is doing with, say, for example, Citibank. I did directly with the consumer. And the courts come back and said it's a tort claim, right?
No contract.
It's no contract. I'm like, dude. So the basis of the FDCPA is it has to be a contractual obligation for the FDCPA to kick in. So say for an example, if it was like a toll debt, at the time you run that toll, it's no contract, right? And taxes, the time you say you don't pay no taxes or pay taxes is no contract. So the FDCPA don't, govern one of them. So the courts come back, the appeals court come back and say that it's a tort claim. The FDCPA is tort inclined. So I said, man, that's whatever. So I had to restructure real quick my business. It really didn't stop anything, you know what I'm saying? So I contractually gave it back to the consumer, and then we just followed the case.
So did they change the law so no one can buy consumer debt like that, or just for that one case?
The way, I've probably like 3 weeks ago, I really looked back at that ruling and was just figuring out, like, how can I scratch this and start all over, but do it, right?
Yeah.
So they was just like, they was emphasizing on the assignment of the claim, right? But they didn't say anything like, hey, you're not contractually wanting the debt, you're just wanting the claim.
Yeah.
So say for an example, like the podcast, I've heard you say, like, you can just shoot something and then there's audio come with it, then there's a video to come with it, then you can do something else with it. So That was just like, you're wanting the, the claim part, right? So
Yeah, but not own the whole
thing, take responsibility of the whole thing. So I'm scratching my head on that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just language.
Yeah.
They're not,
See what I'm saying?
they don't sound like they're independent of each other.
Yeah.
They talking about a tent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what it sounds like.
So so I'm kind of scratching my head on that. So yeah, man, that's what I'm gonna do until they put dirt on me.
So how do you get your message out to more people? Because it seems like you got a, the way your strategy or the way you go about it is like you like terminating. It's like
you're done with
knocking them out, bang, right?
Oh yeah.
And I mean, you educated me because like I didn't know that this method knocked them out, and some of the other methods, the debt can come back. Potentially, it can be purchased by another debt collector.
I think it's even more dangerous, man.
How so?
Like factual dispute in Metro 2, to me, you have to be, if you're going to do something like that, you have to be on your game. Like, you got to be at the top tier of your game. You got to be well-rounded because, yeah, it comes off the report, but you're still liable for the debt. So now they take it off your report, but they sue you. What you going to do?
Is that likely to happen?
Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk about that, man, because you got to understand that you got the big dogs, which is middling, credit management, portfolio, and LVMV. Middling last year in 2023 made $1.7 billion.
On collecting debt?
Yes. They collect defaulted consumer credit card debt. So say for an example, man, I mean, $1.7 billion, that's a lot of money, So when you look at any court record and just type in middling credit management, they dominate it. They dominate every single courthouse records ever. It's them. So say for an example, it comes off the report, but they sue you. Now you got to know how to defend that. You know what I mean? So a lot of people is just uneducated on, say for an example, disputing, right? But now defending is a whole different ballgame, So I think it's very dangerous for the consumer to be doing that and not having somebody really to back them up. So like I say, my approach is let's just really nip it in the butt permanently. And then you don't have to even worry about, it coming off the report, not coming off the report, somebody suing you or not. We got a contract from the debt collector saying, we finna to waive this debt. We gonna take it off your report. We will not collect on this debt no more.
What's up, y'all? I'm standing in the middle of the street and I'm willing to risk it all because I want you to grow, whether through paid or organic measures. Over the next 5 days, the Audience Growth Challenge, we're going to be teaching you podcast guesting strategies, video marketing strategies, social media, predictable viral creation strategies, the power of radio and digital PR. And these strategies are what you need to grow your business over the next 4, 6, 9, even 12 months to skyrocket your success. So if you want to join the challenge, all you got to do is click the link below and join the Audience Growth Challenge and join it as a VIP. Let's get it.
Are you saying that these debt collecting companies like Midland, right, who purchased the debt, right, they can now sue you for the debt that they purchased? It's not really your debt with them?
So look, you got to look at it like this. So you have a lot of industries, period. You got a lot of people battling. You got a lot of people. It's just chaos in America. The debt collection industry uses the court system the most in the United States. They collecting that debt. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people ain't talking about that. That's a whole nother language.
Yeah, I never even heard about that like that. But that's interesting. But they're suing you for some debt that you don't even owe with them? What's their angle?
So the debt collector purchased the account or they get assigned the account. That's like the common two ways. So they use the court systems to collect that money and, get a judgment, garnish your wages, things like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean,
it's a cold game out here.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the side, you know what I mean? That might just come bite the consumer, but the consumer has no idea. So the consumer is just looking for the benefit of the information coming off their report. And then next thing you know, yeah, it may come off the report, but it's not permanent. That's what everybody is not talking about.
Mm.
So if I can't really service the person and really like take their problem and really solve the problem from a permanent basis, I don't even want to take money from you. So it got to be, you know, a little bit of integrity there, not just because somebody is calling your phone or DM, email, or, you know, things like that. So that's the type of, you know, integrity that I just got running my business.
Yeah. Is there a certain client profile that's ideal for you?
Well, really, so yeah, that's where I
comes it based on a report primarily.
Nah, that's what, you know, I kind of like, you know, stay up at night, trying to figure out. It's like, man, because I can help everybody, you know what I mean, that comes to me with debt collection or credit reporting problems. So I'm trying to like hone in on what that looks like, but it's just like, man, you know, if a DM come, email, or, you know, somebody call me, it's just like, dang, well, okay. I mean, I truly can help you. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be like, hey, you know, I don't want to be excluding people and then, hey, you said you only help these type of people. You know what I mean? That's not me. So I like to look at the problem first, and then it's just be like, okay, I can help you, or I can't help you, or this person can help you, whatever the case may be.
Or what do you feel like is the best way people can do a preemptive way to either get the information so they just stay out of the situation, having to jack the credit report, or maybe just they kind of position themselves to take less of those negative hits. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not learning about credit in school.
Yeah, it's really,
you know
man.
So how does people kind of you know learn how they should be going about?
The ultimate answer is education. You know, just get educated on what you're really getting into. Nobody really gets educated on what they're getting into. They just get into it. Next thing you know, it's a big mess. Now you're looking for the solution. And so it's kind of hard to turn around, you know, and say, for an example, if we're going to use the economy for a reason, that be, you know, excuse. It's just all sorts of things like death affects people. You got marriages fail.
Yeah.
You know, just things that happens in, you know, everyday life. But I would just say, man, get educated on something before you get into it. I mean, everybody got tips and all this type of stuff, but just, you know, go with somebody that got a license to do it, because you just can't be just taking information from somebody. You know what I mean? So like if the information is wrong, you can take action on that person's bond. You know what I'm saying? So I would seek out a licensed professional on something like that.
So one of the things that I feel like a lot of people struggle with is getting back in that situation. Mm-hmm. So after credit gets fixed, after reports cleaned up, maybe they do funding, they get access to money. Now they got more bags running up. You know what I'm saying? What do you say to those individuals to keep them, once we fix the situation, like we sued the debt collectors, the debt's off, you got a nice, fresh, you know what I'm saying, credit report. You can get busy with it. You can leverage it. How do people stay out of getting new debt collectors on their report? Because that's happening a lot.
Yeah, pay your bill. You know what I mean? Just to be honest with you. But I'm not no funding guy. You know, I'm not big. Well, let me say it like this. I'm not for funding if you're going to abuse it. And that's the thing that people like to do. Like, come on, man. Like, you getting funding and then you're going to go get a BBL. You're getting funding and then you're going to get some rims. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I'm for not abusing it. You know what I'm saying? So collectively, and you know, year 2024, we hit $1 trillion of consumer defaulted debt. So now I seen like a meme from somebody that was saying 1.14 trillion in consumer debt. It's spiking. And so I don't know where this almost contributed to, but I can just contribute a little bit to that, like that funding aspect.
So someone just hit me. So with that amount of consumer debt out here, did that means the debt collectors are purchasing all that debt?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Every single last.
Like that part just hit me. Yeah. So if you have a company that is purchasing debt, and then you're assigning that debt to collect on that debt, how saturated or not saturated in that market? Meaning like this, let's say, I'm like, yo, it's an opportunity. We can make some money. We get in a space. Are we competing for debt purchase, or is there so much debt available we'll be able to sustain and build a company in that space too?
Man, you got to understand, it's not just United States. We're really in a global economy. So the global economy, we're touching 91 trillion. So I don't think it's any one person, any one company that can just really dominate that market like that. But we're talking just American ways, American whatever. It's Midland Credit Management who really dominates that industry like that. So they're the big dogs. And then, like I say, in 2023, they collected, over $1 trillion. I mean, $1 billion. I'm sorry, $1 billion.
That's crazy, bro. The way that you kind of explaining this, like, I'm definitely getting way more clarity, and I'm hoping like people kind of pick up on it, because, I mean, you got these companies that's basically like, they're like bullies. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't want to say bullies. I wouldn't just put that picture out there like that. Let's be fair to everyone. Like, you didn't pay that bill, so they're collecting that money that you owe. Right. So, and what I'm just saying is,
it seems wrong. I mean, okay, let's think about this. We got the homie here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Right. So let's say Quan loans you some money. Right. He loans you a band. 6 months go by, you don't pay Quan a band. Right. Quan tells me Quan hooping now. We hooping. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We hooping one-on-one, whatever. I'm like, what you got going on? Nothing, bro. Yo, by the way, you seen Vance? Nah, bro, I ain't even rock with Vance. Yo, bro, I let him, but the band, he ain't pay me the band. I'm like, yo, sign this document. Can I collect on that? He's like, yo, bro, I don't care, because I'm not even getting the money. So if you get it, you get it. Maybe I hit him off with $100 or something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He don't care. He ain't getting nothing.
Yeah.
I just pay him in advance $100.
Yeah.
So now I'm ringing your phone, banging your line, text, email, you know what I'm saying, Snapchat. I'm pulling up on you. I'm like, yo, let's go to lunch. But yo, where's that 1,000 that you ain't paid Quan? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really hitting you with it. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? Essentially.
Oh yeah.
Right? But are you paying me the 1,000? Most likely you're not paying me that 1,000.
Well, put it like this.
You know what I'm saying? Or
if you Snapchatting me and calling and texting and emailing me about a debt,
yeah,
you finna end up in federal court. Oh, I'm gonna turn you up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I could go to Quan and people that Quan know and friends that I know. I mean, you doing your thing, but I'm just trying to make it make sense.
No,
people.
You can't do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it make sense.
You can't do that.
So I can go outside, like I live in Miami. This is a big park. This feel out here all the time, thousands of people.
Yeah.
So I can just make these conversations, say, yo, who ain't pay you? Who ain't pay you? Who owe you money? Right? I can collect all that debt up, get all the name, numbers, emails, and I can just bang their lines and I can just get the bread.
Oh yeah.
I can pay them in advance. Like he owe you.
Oh yeah.
2 bands.
Yeah.
Here's 200 or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, just say you following all the guidelines.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing illegal about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a whole industry.
Trillions. Look, if you got a debt collector reporting onto your credit, you got a debt collector texting you, calling you, emailing you, all you got to do is go over to vancedotson.com, get on the wait list, and when you're notified, take that chance, book a call, reach out on social media, and let's get the help that you deserve.
Would you ever be in that industry?
Nah,
With
man.
the information you know?
Nah,
So you ain't so you're not driven by the money.
I'm driven by the money.
But you're not.
I'm driven by the money and passion. Anybody tell you this is not about the money, man, they're a liar, bro.
But you ain't really driven by the money. You're driven by the money, but you're not really driven by the money. Because I've heard you on several occasions say, I'm not gonna take this person's money if it don't even make sense.
Yeah, man, you gotta have some type of morals about yourself.
And I'm not saying you don't, but in a capitalistic society with a company that is profit driven, is revenue first.
Yeah, man, that's the thing that once again I struggle with. Like, so say for example,
So you're nonprofit company.
I'm for profit.
You're nonprofit.
Straight for profit.
No, you're nonprofit.
Straight for profit. Well, it's a little.
Or do you have a nonprofit arm?
Straight profit. Straight profit. You know what I'm saying? Straight profit. Nah, but I look at it. All right, so perfect example, man. A lady calling me, and I got to figure out what you're coming to me for. So I'm telling her, well, she wants to increase her FICO score. So I'm like, look, go get a secured credit card from a local credit union. So off the top, people just only think about Navy Federal. And I'm like, okay, it's more, credit unions out there that offers better, products than Navy Federal. So she calls me back. Matter of fact, she called me at like 11 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, who this? She talking about some credit repair. I'm like, 11 o'clock at night? I'm like, dang. So I said, hey, go to a local credit union and, obtain a secured credit card. So she comes back. She's like, I plan on doing $200 to $300. Right? So I'm like, man, I don't know about that. But okay, cool. Do that because that's a start. And then, hey, go do at least $1,500. So now, this was really literally yesterday. She was like, yeah. So, they said that the car can be in the mail and this, and I got approved to do it. So I'm still not clear on if she even put the money up, because what I'm trying to do, if somebody come to me about increasing their FICO score, I'm really trying to heal the relationship that they got with money, because really people got a messed up relationship with money. So like you'll probably use money like a hammer, you're using money in a different way than what an average consumer would use the money for. And so what I'm trying to do is repair that. So I want to see people invest in themselves. So this is the thing. So now I told her, hey, screenshot your score. Go get that secure credit card. And she tells me like, oh, okay, if I was to get it up to 1,500, it'd be 3 months. Okay, cool. Look, track your progress. So because people have it in their mind like, okay, I'm gonna give you this $1 and I want that lollipop now.
No, of course, 100%.
So to see the plant grow, consumers don't see that. So that's what I'm trying to get people to see, or her to see. So she was just like, well, it probably take me 3 months. Okay, then call me back in 3 months. So I know if when I get to the point to where, okay, I'm finna accept money from you, you're gonna see a lot increase when I get involved, because you're getting the hardest part out the way, which is building credit. So consumers think building credit is you paying the credit repair company and this, now you just got this 700. Nah, it don't work like that. So you got to create captivity, which is space in between primarily credit cards, to get that increase that the consumer wants to see. So I want to get that out the way, because if you don't get that out the way first, you're going to have a bad customer like, hey, what's going on? It's like, but I'm paying you. What's going on? So it's just like, dude, I'm trying to tell you to go invest in yourself, and you haven't did that.
So let me ask you this. With that same customer as an example, right? Because you telling me your nonprofit is for profit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So why not someone like that? Why not potentially throw her in, let's say, a community, right, for 3 months? That might be low ticket, could be $49 a month, $69 a month, where she stays in your environment, right, of education, and she stays in proximity to the information, where you can help to grow that mindset, and she can kind of get a newer understanding and a newer relationship with money while she's doing a strategy that you, or applying some information that you gave her.
Yeah.
Right. The reason why I'm saying that is because, like, she's making a small investment, but it's an investment. You did give her some information. You are helping her. She may not be ready for the next movement because she still got that 90 days that she has to, you know, in her case, obtain and utilize the secure card, work it, build some relationship, and then hopefully it'll be ready to either become unsecured or they give her more money. And then that way it's like you have a customer at a starting period, and then she can graduate to, let's say, the next level, or she can stay in that level if she wants based on where she's at.
Yeah.
And you're still able to help that person. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that's something that, you know, I haven't put in place.
Yeah. Cause I think that would be cool. Cause like just being able to, I mean, you don't got do you have a community?
No.
So let's say I'm working with you, I don't know, for 4 months or something, 6 months, whatever. How long is it gonna take for you to fix my situation? Let's just say, hypothetically. Do I got access to you in a weekly capacity, or do I got access to you whenever we need to touch base, essentially?
It's whenever.
Okay, I bet. So I think it's valuable, especially from that angle where you're like, you wanna educate these people on that mindset piece so they don't end up back where they was at when they came to you, and you wanna make sure, it's almost like you're seasoning them. So then you wanna make sure when you do have them invest something a little bit more, they the right fit, because maybe they've grown that mindset if they didn't come directly from someone that has a better understanding that really wants to solve the problem.
Yeah.
And then you can take them on, right?
Oh yeah.
Because then now that really puts you in that position to be for profit as well, because not only are you created another product for, you know, people to come into, you know, at a lower ticket for, let's say, the people that may not be able to invest at a higher level or get started at a higher level. You're able to serve them. And it's like it's a trade for your time and the value, right?
Yeah.
But then also it generates that MRR revenue. So now you can have, you know, like if we doing the math, you know, because I know you help a lot of people. So let's say, I don't know, 800 people you helping, they're not ready to run that, you know, that higher level, whatever that higher level is. And you get them on a $49 a month situation, you know what I'm saying? That's $40,000 a month.
Yeah.
On a low ticket.
Yeah. But
and then you're changing their lives because they're in the mindset.
Yeah. So a hurdle in my head is, right, the numbers seem good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seem good. But man, managing 800 people with the messed up mindset is difficult. Like, so credit repair has always been that reoccurring model. You know what I mean? So if anybody tell you like, oh man, you know, we don't have any churn in our business.
Yeah, everybody got churn. Everybody got churn.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So now, and it's true, man, when you create a solution, another problem comes.
No, 100%.
And then another problem comes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to hire, you know, dang near a customer service person.
That's a good problem.
You know what I mean? So,
that's a good problem to have. Because you can't, I mean, you won't be able to service all those people and produce a higher level product as you're doing now. But it's a trade-off because, you know, more people need what you have.
Yeah, man. So I had a deep conversation, you know, like a couple hours about that. So the guy was talking about Quan. He was like, you know, he should, you know, serve, have a community like 150 $150 a month.
I think that's a great price.
And I'm like, but Quan, like, let's say for an example, like, why would I put up with this $150 headache, but I can just go sue a debt collector statutorily $1,000? Like, they'll give out $1,000 real quick.
Why can't you do both?
So say for an example, I'm like, I got to put up with this person for 10 months.
You don't got to put up with that person.
Versus one lawsuit in a couple weeks.
But what I'm saying is you got to look at it like this, right? I'm Apple.
Mm-hmm.
I got an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I give you a charging block.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I give you the charger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even give you the block.
Mm-hmm.
Case, service, apps. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
They're in there about the charges for Wi-Fi in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So back to your point, because you were saying every problem you solve creates another problem.
Oh, yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with having a service that can solve multiple problems, because you can have a service that can get people on a certain level. You can have a service that basically helps you build that person up, that I hope get that debt sniped.
Yeah.
Why? Because I might have got the debt sniped for the person, but that person's mindset may not have changed yet.
Yeah.
But if I'm active in the program, you know what I'm saying, I come to the Zoom calls, I go through the curriculum, I'm reading, I'm studying,
Mm-hmm.
I might have a changed mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully, but yeah.
Yeah, more than likely I will, if I'm participating. Now, if I just sign up to some stuff I ain't using, I'm not gonna have a changed mindset. And in that community example, you can either hire a mindset coach in there too. Be like, yo, Mindset Mondays, 30 minutes, we're gonna be in there, we're gonna be talking about paradigm shifting, some bar proctor shit, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna need that too.
Yeah.
Right? Because I can be around the information, which is great. Some people, all you need to do is put them in the environment. They're gonna take it from there. Some people need the environment, but they also gonna need someone to hold them accountable in the environment.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Then some people need the environment, accountability, and they need a roadmap. You gotta look at it, right? Let's say, you can hire a community manager, VA. Okay, let's say you wanna hire a VA. You can pay a VA, let's say you pay the VA a max. That could be $1,000 a month,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you got $1,000 a month, you divide that by the 150, that's 6 people.
Yeah.
That salary's taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I guess it really just kind of depends, how you want to do it. But I think there's a whole piece with the post-debt collection removal,
Mm-hmm.
with educating the person, keeping them in the environment so they don't back up working with you to get something else removed.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that percentage looks like of having somebody, after you help them remove a debt, seeing them again like, yo, what you did for me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need that.
Yeah, man. It would definitely have to be tiered if I was to map it out.
Yeah.
I just don't see myself for $69 or even deploying any method of mine. You know what I mean? For no $69. I'm not even gonna think about it.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it's something that you gotta do. Personally, I think, or two things. One, you would hire somebody to manage that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And then two, it compounds.
Yeah.
What we say, like you said, the 150. So even at 60 people times the 150, that's 10 grand, basically 10 grand a month.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got 60 people up to 69.
But yeah, so I'm digging it.
Yeah.
But everybody coming in at different points is going to learn different, and people's, like, wherever they're at is different. I was talking to a credit repair specialist probably an hour ago, right? And the basis of credit repair to me is at least the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And she didn't even have a basis on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's somebody, I think almost 30,000 followers, you know what I'm saying? And just spewing out information. And so I'm like, dude, to me, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
You ain't wrong.
Yeah. So I'm like, dude, it's crazy. So
guess what?
What's the deal?
Guess what? You can't help them because you ain't got your community up. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she right or she wrong. I'm not saying you right or you're wrong. I'm just saying how you can make more impact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know you like helping people because you don't even want to charge people.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man.
We should do a raffle. Something.
What's the raffle?
I mean, we should help somebody for free.
Yeah, but I'm with it, right? But helping somebody for free is just that crutch. Because
that's my point.
Yeah, man. That's
my point, bro.
It's just like, dude, like, I mean, this is a thing, like,
and we want to help somebody for free. I'm just making a point here.
Yeah, but I never went to McDonald's. It's like, hey man, let me get nah. You know what I mean? I always like, what's the cost? Okay, cool. Let me pay.
Yeah, but McDonald's wasn't like, I want to make sure this is a good burger for you.
Nah, they just gonna slaughter it out.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's the type of meat we do. Cause you handle that meat, you can't. All right, look, listen. Go to Wendy's, go to Burger King, eat a couple of Taco Bells. That's gonna get your stomach right. Once you do that, come on back. Our burgers is perfect for you. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Oh,
now they're like, yo, we got what you need. You need to, you know what I'm saying? You need the burgers, you need the nuggets, which you need the apple pie.
Yeah, man, that 150 as it run through my head,
Yeah.
I don't think so. It got to be a little bit more than that because,
I mean, you got to think about the community isn't a one-off, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's going to add up. You feel me?
Like, so say for an example, man, you know, I'm looking at these cases that go to trial.
Yeah.
In time, these attorneys is charging $160,000 for their time. You know what I'm saying? So it's skill. Like, so say for an example, AKA getting the violation, that's a skill within itself.
Yeah.
If you don't draw up the complaint a certain way, they're gonna dismiss your case. That's a skill. Even doing discovery is a skill.
Yeah, no doubt.
Deposing someone, skill, right? So you gotta be on your P's and Q's with one, drafting that summary judgment motion and opposing that summary judgment motion. And then just going to trial itself. All that's a skill. So say for an example, just, you know, doing numbers off the top of my head at 150, that's almost $1,800.
I don't know if you need to be doing all of that at that level. I think that level might just be getting the people you turning away that they need to get in position for that level. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or the people that come out of getting the debt sniped so they can have the mindset right. I don't think people at that level are getting their credit deleted. I mean, getting their credit sued. I mean, getting their debt, removed. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it's certain information at that level. And then once they're ready, they can graduate to the level where, you know, their debt can be sued. And then once their debt's sued, they're in that other level where they're keeping a mindset right. So they're never going to have to be in a situation where they have to get their debt sued again, unless there's a life situation that happens out of their control. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No. I'm not saying at the 69 150 price, we going to court.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying,
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying, if I come to you and like you just said with the lady, and I'm getting sauce at the level where like, yo, you can go get a secure credit card. This is the play, or this is the move. You know what? This is how you understand, your credit report. This is what a credit mix is. You know what I'm saying? This is how you structure your credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like information on that level and just financial literacy information, maybe that's in there.
Yeah.
But then once they're ready, you know what I'm saying, they pop up like toast They're ready to go get some debt sued.
Yeah.
Next level is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can probably put something together.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to twist your arm. I'm just trying to,
But keeping up with who's paying,
You ain't got to do it. There's systems out there that'll
weed them out.
turn off when they ain't paying.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? And then you will hire somebody to basically, manage and run the community. You just pop in when you pop in. It's like, oh, Vance said, oh shit, it's the second Tuesday of the month. Vance pulled up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just hire people. But this is dope, bro.
Yeah.
This has been really dope. I hope y'all got a lot of information because I got a lot. I feel like I'm smarter. You know what I'm saying? For sure. If somebody wants to work with you, where do they go if they want more information? If they have a fully wrapped in mind around really getting rid of the debt, like how can they connect with you?
VanceDotson.com. All social platforms, Vance Dotson. Man, come and follow me, shoot me a DM. Let's check out your situation and go to the next step and just go from there.
All right, word, bro. Appreciate you.
All right.
Jumping on pod. I'm gonna hold you to that. Okay, see you in November.
Come on.
Floor seats?
Nah, man, I'm like about 9 rows. I'm about 9 rows back.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, from the visitor side.
That works.
Yeah, I can say, hey, Mark Cuban. He always say, what's going on? Yeah.
All right, word. Listen, y'all, make sure you check out my guy Vance. Get more educated on financial literacy. Learn more about that credit report. And if you got debt, you already know who to go to. Share this episode out with someone else, and we'll see you guys on another episode of the podcast.
Let's get it.